Kyle, your video is maybe going to show up. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Friday Night Dungeons and Dragons. This is Wyrd and Wyld, session 86, Gold Standard. I'm Jaso the DM, and who is joining me on this fine Friday evening?
Hello, everyone. I'm Bailey. I will be playing Glace Lord, the androgynous Eidolon College of Glamour Bard.
Hey, everyone. I'm Luke. I'm playing Aesop Kinku Alchemist, probably for the last time.
What's up? My name's Kevin. I play Sun Kong, your apeling bianoid monk, following the way of the abundant spirit.
Hi, my name's Osman or Slim, and I'm in Hell, and I'll be playing Rincast, who is also in Hell. He's a lizard folk bounty hunter, gunslinger, stuck in Hell.
Yeah, I'm Kyle. I'm playing Chemo. So, Shadow Hunter. Shadow Hunter. He's a Shadow Monk. It's also a Ranger. I'm also probably going to play for Lameda. She's Arcane Trickster that I've reskinned to be attack ways extraordinaire. She's been out of practice with her tagline.
Hi everybody, I'm Nick. I play NVD, the half-elf celestial warlock with Pack the Tome Focus, and I have the most phenomenal familiar of all time, a pseudo-dragon named Jiro.
Thank you, everybody. I appreciate that. Big shout out, as usual, to 8-Bit Ribbit for doing our character art. They're all very awesome. Thank you so much. Go check her out over at Twitter, just at 8-Bit Ribbit. And I think she has a website that you can jump over to as well. And thank you, Avery Alexander, for some cool music we may use this session. He has a YouTube. If you punch Avery Alexander in there, you will find him. I'll also post a link in the description. Thank you, everybody from last session who decided to follow us. I really appreciate it. DDA Schrock, Heroes Legacy ZF, Miss Lockhart 16. Very nice of you to pop in and give us a follow. I really appreciate that. Thank you for hosting, Kevin. That puts us to 140 followers. That's pretty cool. Nice. For those of you who are joining us or may pop in a little bit later or just listen to a VOD of this, if you guys join us live, you get Twitch channel points. You accrue them over time. If you're a follower or a subscriber, you accrue them more quickly, so you basically gain more. You can do all kinds of cool things if you want to use them. A lot of those details you'll find at the bottom left of the Twitch chat. You can buy inspiration, weird bit packs that the characters can use for rooms on their ship or money. You can buy boons for characters. You can name an NPC, all kinds of fun stuff. So go ahead and check that out. You can buy all kinds of avatars that you should see at the bottom of the screen that I'll activate right now. Like the crystal dragons that you guys typically see walking around. So take a look at that, see how many points you've accrued and the fun stuff you may want to buy. Also, give us a follow here on Twitch and you can start earning them more rapidly. Ringkaz, don't forget, your left leg still stings. You can fix this injury if you can at once gain 10 or more points in magical healing. That won't go to your HP, that will instead go to fixing your leg injury. Just keep that in mind.
I eat a ham sandwich and slam a potion.
Before we fully jump in, I want to go ahead and throw out some inspiration to you guys, since it looks like every single person used it last time.
We're gonna fucking need it.
Yeah.
Go ahead and grab those cards. Now is the time to trade if you want to.
Let's see. Ooh.
I like mine.
I got the spell slot recovery one.
I've got increase your spell DC or discipline save by +2.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't.
Crazy.
Somebody should take that one. I can't recover spell slots.
I don't have level 1 slots.
Ooh.
What about, I'll take this spell slot one. Ping me, I reloaded and everything is messed up for me. I'm sorry, where are we? I can't find us. I zoomed out and everything.
I'm putting it up the command center.
Here we are. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I've got
And-
that secret training one also. If somebody wants it.
I'm gonna.
That's good for you though. You have disciplines, right? No, that's for mystic shit.
No, yeah,
We-
I don't.
You have Stunning Fist. It's good. It's a
True.
good one to use it on.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
The forgotten knowledge is yours, Luke. I'm gonna take this one that you.
Oh, here I can take this one. If I use a smite,
Oh, yeah.
I can use it. And then Sun Kong, you can have the forgotten knowledge thing.
There you go.
Knowledge once forgotten.
Did you, Hong Kong? Did
I-
you want the discipline save? Because I have one of those too.
No, he doesn't have disciplines. That's mystic. I was mistaken.
You got it.
Ring cash.
But I can use it on the Stunning Fist. Kyle said.
Yeah.
Someone take this forgotten knowledge, or I will take it back.
take it.
Monkey, take it. It's yours.
I already had a.
Let's go.
I already had a card.
Oh, that was mine.
Okay. Everyone got their cards. Someone's
so.
throwing out a forbidden knowledge. Why is there another forbidden
there-
knowledge here?
Why is there an extra forbidden knowledge?
It's gone.
We all have
Got it.
cards. I don't know.
It's gone. There we go. Okay. We got past that. We can do anything, guys.
Can we mulligan and draw a new hand?
No, we're done with
Damn.
that. We have zero listeners. Well, why don't we roll some die to see who wants to give the recap?
I have immunity, sweetie.
Glosse says she's not giving the recap.
Oh,
beasted.
wow.
I kind of want to. No, I don't want to roll against them.
You should, I think. You should give it a roll and see what happens.
Think?
Don't
You
do
think I
it.
should?
I think
Don't
so.
get-
Do it.
Don't get
Do it.
bullied. Don't
Don't
let people
do
bully.
it. Don't do it.
Oh,
Wow! Wow!
Man.
Crit.
Well, I don't use
feel
roll
like I
20
could beat
anyway.
that, but
I have my pink shiny dice that also betray me. So
shady click.
well, Aesop. It looks
No,
like
no, it's Rinkaz.
oh, Ringcast.
That's me.
Hang on. Oh yes, Ringcast. Can you let me know what happened last time on Weird and Wild?
So we started after getting thrown into the meat grinder, so to speak. We finished off our enemies, a giant snake woman, a flying creature woman, mimics that weren't mimics, golden scary baby children, more gold statue people that weren't people but were remains of people. Then went up to the top floor and heard what sounded like a gargoyle and a dog fused, breathing into a microphone, and there was a
was just
big ass
me.
demon. So we were cornered by that, and we had just opened up the Devil's Due and let out. It's not Zed Bane. I can never remember his
Flavio.
name. Flavio, there. You go. And after throwing a few checks at him and making him go incorporeal to an extent, we killed a few hounds and then fought giant flying angry monster and blew him and the rest of his allies to hell and back, only to be, well, run around in circles by Flavio, not getting a single answer that wasn't cryptic or BS. We ran upstairs, downstairs again to find out that our boat that we procured was gone. The tombs were still full a little bit of treasure, and we found a secret hidden portal that the wonderful Chemo and VT were able to help us find. After finding a whole bunch of conflict in between that and our next path, the beautiful Glacé gave a call to Fa to tell him to come down, and then to tell him not to come down, and then to call Lushee and have
oh, that was a mess.
angry Sonny Bono TV show host Lushee get pissed at us and basically want to murder us. I mean, rescue us. He's coming to rescue us because when we called him back to tell him, no, Fa's actually going to come and get us this time, he didn't answer. So now we're stuck in limbo almost between hell, heaven, and space Vegas, ready to be roasted by Siegfried.
TPK. TPK.
No.
TPK.
I rebuke all evil.
So
That's-
fun.
Don't
That's
put
a-
that into the world.
pretty succinct recap, Rinkaz. Thank you. You find a weird bit in your pockets.
That doesn't
eat
matter, Jason. Why are we?
But if it dies,
May
well,
as
it
well
doesn't
just
matter.
roll it off into the reservoir, because what use will it do?
No, Aesop will die with this thing. 14. We're at 14.
So you guys had decided at the end of last session, after speaking with Lushee, that despite Flavio's claims that Lushee was coming to do sinister things to you all, considering you were the only ones who knew about this issue that you had instigated here at the bank, you decided to not follow him into this random portal that leads to who knows where, and took the other route, deciding to relax as much as you can in the meantime and wait for your eventual pickup by Lushee. In the meantime, though, you did contact Fa and ask for her to at least get en route to catch up with you all as well, just in case. So, as you all hunker down and try to mend your wounds from the battles that happened here at the bank, both on the surface level and in the vault itself, Fa, you just received this communication.
Yep.
You were, we would assume, as the arcane man was speaking with the group, that he would have called you in so that you can hear what's going on and get the basic gist that they're asking for you to hop into Dingus 3 and make way for this elusive, secretive private bank that is on the bottom side of Halcyon, on the Lux area where it is dark over this reservoir. So, sounds like it may be a little difficult finding it, but they want you to try and at least make headway and do your best to try and catch up with them.
Oh boy. Okay.
As they finish speaking to you guys over the crystal communicator, their voices disappear from this center console that you see these arcane illusions of various planets and orbits spinning around, Halcyon being one of the primary ones here in the center. The arcane man, after having all of this said, turns to you and says,
"Do you have everything you need, Fa?"
That's not ominous.
I don't know. I don't know what we'll need. That's the best part. Do we have a submarine? Is that something we have? I don't have one. I checked my pockets.
You will not be able to submerge the wreck boat, as you all call it, the dingus. So
Sure.
you will need to fly it from the geodesic ship outside of the top side of Halcyon
Sure.
and re-enter down below.
Uh-huh. Okay. Well, yep. I've not flown before, but this should be fun.
It, for you as a spellcaster, will be like second nature once you get used to it.
Ugh.
I got one trip. Is that long enough to get used to it?
Potentially. As far as what they have told us, it seems as though you'll need to keep a close eye out for wherever this island the group is on is at, due to the darkness of Lux. As you know, here on Halcyon there is no light on the bottom half.
No problem.
I would also recommend, as you pilot the wreck boat, just use your senses to move the ship. It will move by its own volition, following your commands. It draws from the essence of your own magical nature into the Spelljammer helm that operates the ship to where it needs to be. You'll need to move slowly and carefully, however, as you traverse the top side and try to re-enter down below in Lux. Because you may not know this, but because there are no lighthouses, no lighting on the bottom side of the reservoir where everything is dark, no vessels, neither airborne or waterfaring, are allowed down there. You will need to be careful so as to not attract the attention of the Gold Eye.
Well, I can certainly do my best.
Now, Halcyon is surrounded by a bubble, a constant force wall of arcane magic. The wizards of Halcyon continually supplied with energy. Typically, you need one of these wizards to open a hole so as to enter and exit, as we do when we land here on the top side. However, that type of travel is restricted down below, except for arcane like myself.
As he says this, the arcane man grabs with 2 fingers, and you notice now he actually has 6 digits on each hand.
Oof.
Well, that's tiny.
He has a lot of fingers. He removes a simple-looking silver band from one of his fingers. And as he is removing it, you notice that he is already pretty tall. He's like 7.5 feet tall, from what you could guess. He now shifts, and it seems as though he's nearly 10 feet tall as he finishes removing the ring.
Blah. Jesus. Could Werner go first?
Don't be alarmed. There is an essence of arcane magic in this ring. I typically wear it as it allows me to traverse mercantile areas with ease in a smaller form than my standard one.
Oh, sure.
It also serves a second purpose. We arcane fa are merchants by nature. We do various forms of trade throughout not only Halcyon, but other various planets. My ring here bears the mark of the arcane. It will naturally allow you to have passage through the force walls that surround Halcyon. As long as you bear this ring, as long as you are traversing onto the underside in the wreck boat, a hole will appear in the wall, and you should be able to shift through with a certain amount of subtlety.
Nice.
He hands the ring over to you.
She drops it. Whoops.
It's okay, but keep an eye on it. It is very important to me.
Don't worry, I'll be careful.
Now, Fa, if you need anything else, you have the earring of communication, I believe.
Yep. She pulls out her ear.
You can always call the party and have them call me, or vice versa, whatever you need. As I mentioned before, move with a certain amount of priority, but not so much to as attract unwanted attention. If there is anything else you need from me before leaving, let me know.
Some words of encouragement would go a long way, but, where he feels appropriate.
It is important that you carry out this task so that Kui here can have another physical form, so we do not lose the key to the lady's legacy. I believe you are up for such a task.
Oh, wow. That was pretty inspirational. Yep, let's do this. For Kui! And she runs off in the wrong direction.
A couple seconds go by, and Fa runs back across the other direction.
Kui!
Fa, the wreck boat is located down at the bottom of this ship in the dispatch center. You notice as you move down there that there is a smaller craft that seems as though it has a certain amount of scratches and dents. It's seen some play, covered with various amounts of what look to be camouflage painting, some actual twigs and twigs and leaves sort of strewn about. It seems more apt for more of a jungle natural world than something like Halcyon, but you hope that the relative darkness of Lux will keep you covered. At the top you notice a area to enter made of steel, and as you grab the bars and pull up, you're able to slip inside. There is 3 rooms, and you'll see that over on the left side as you traverse forward. This craft doesn't have a helm. It doesn't have a seat for you to sit in, but it has what looks to be a circular, kind of like a pirate's wheel. And as you grip onto 2 of the handles, you feel this feeling being drawn from you, and you watch as a certain amount of glyphs on the base of this device past the wheel itself begin to light up and shift through various colors.
Oh boy, release the rigging.
As you allow your magic to be pulled through the helm, you now get this strange sensation. You are able to see where you are here, although there don't seem to be any windows or anything that look out from this room. You can simply see the steel inner workings of the interior small room that you're in. But it's almost like a second vision on top of the first, like when you cross your eyes. But instead of just having double vision, this second layered vision is almost like you able to see outside of the craft itself. Like the craft has eyes of its own and you can look through them.
Pretty neat.
It almost feels like the wreck boat has become an extension of your own limbs. As you begin to pilot it, you simply think about the idea of the wreck boat lifting off of the floor of the dispatch center. And as you use your second sight to peer around, you feel the sensation of the craft lifting up, floating, silently. And you now realize that it is pretty close, as the arcane man said. You just have to pour a certain amount of arcane energy in, and using your thoughts transferred through, shift the ship where you need to go. Now to pilot the ship, I'm going to need you to expend, it doesn't matter which level, but I need you to expend 1 spell slot to pilot the ship. It does draw on your magical finesse, your abilities to pilot.
Imagine she's had a chance to long rest since the last time I played her.
I think so, yeah. I think so. When did Fa come here?
She came back after... It was just before they left for the...
Is it just before they left for the bank?
Yeah.
Then she could have had a short rest, but not a long rest.
Yeah, but people had short rests before we left for... Or people had long rests before we left for the bank.
That's true as well.
Oh, that's through it so that we could just go instead of waiting around.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Alright. That's fine. I got some more. A few more. 3 more.
Well, we're so close.
Oh man.
More than us down here.
As the ship is sort of floating mid-room, you are able to perceive the sensation of watching as the arcane man enters the room. He holds up a hand and swirls it around, and with a flash of light, the interior of this dispatch room dissipates, and you now find yourself on the exterior of the geodesic ship, still in the wreck boat, floating above it now in the gilded harbor. You can almost hear the crash of the waves nearby, and you can see the reservoir very close, considering this is the harbor. You know that if you fly across the reservoir here on the top side, you can exit using the force wall, and you'll need to fly down and re-enter through on the Lux side. And with the ring that the arcane man gave you, you assume that although there won't be any wizards to open that area, that a hole should appear for you to enter through. Now, as you are piloting the ship, you get the sensation that you can make it go faster, slower. It feels like it has a top speed. It's not terribly fast. You get the sense that this is almost like a evacuation ship type of thing, but it has multiple uses. So it's not incredibly fast. But as you're piloting along, I'd like either a Arcana or Investigation check to help you pilot the ship on the way there.
Sure. Let's go with an investigation.
Just as a reminder, Aesop is trying to make like a beacon during the short rest where we were resting to put on the roof so Fa can find us.
Okay.
Nice. Good idea. Investigations plus 12.
Oh, I see a big yellow.
That's
Yeah.
30 all day.
Holy shit.
Holy moly.
It is like second nature for her, jeez.
Whee!
It is
Loops.
it is surprisingly simple to maneuver the wreck boat, Fa. You know that once you get down on the luck side of the reservoir, there will be no lights to lead the way. You'll just have to use your second senses of being able to see outside of this ship to hopefully try and locate the private island that the rest of the group seems to be on. But you already begin to make headway, trying not to catch too much attention by going fast, but just piloting along as if you would be leaving Halcyon to some other planetoid. And you begin moving that way.
Woohoo! This is fun.
Meanwhile, on the
Shit! We're all dead! We're all fucking dead!
You see somebody trace out a penis in space outside. And,
Is
and
that
play-
a dick in Sky Rising?
I know that dick.
We've crossed paths many times.
We're just right out front, waiting for our deaths, aren't we?
Should I make a check on making that beacon with the remainder of Rinkaz's glow paint?
The rest of you guys decided to spend a short rest. You were hoping that you could at least get an hour in for rest and relaxation. Give me some type of check, Aesop, as everyone sort of buckles down to attempt to make some type of like clear sign for Fa to make headway.
Okay, how about an alchemy check?
Sure.
This is good. I'm really good at alchemy, you guys. I just want you to know that before I roll.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
see, it's
yes.
no fucking trouble. It's no problem at all. That's a 19. Or no, that's even more than a 19. That's a 22 all day.
Pretty good, pretty good. What type of marking were you trying to do?
I'm taking the last bit of like Rinkaz's glow paint and like combining it with some of my alchemy kit to make like a, like one of those like fluorescent smoke signals with like light, like phosphorescent light coming out of it.
Okay, sure, yeah. You
I do
you
that.
craft this item. It begins to spit out this phosphorescent glow, a bluish greenish glow, and you, I'm assuming, kind of pop it at the top of the bank roof.
Yeah, absolutely. And I also wanted to do one other thing, if I could. Somebody else can go next, but I have one thing I wanted to do before everyone starts showing up to the island.
What did you want to do?
Aesop wanted to take Rek and hide him under the cart and cover him with stuff and turn him on.
Ooh.
And,
Sneaky
and
bastard.
like don't acknowledge it. I don't acknowledge it. I don't look into the camera. I'm just leaving it there and turning it on.
Okay. Are you letting the other group see this?
I only let Glace know. I feel like the rest of them would be like looking at the camera the whole time.
So you as everyone is spending 10, now 20 minutes resting, you finish your smoke signal, putting it at the top. It's got a pretty good glow to it. With the vastness of the reservoir, you feel like it's almost a good thing because where this city picks up out on the far edges, a couple miles out, they would not be able to see this. But if someone was to be flying over the reservoir, they would probably be able to pick it up eventually.
Yeah, it's better than nothing.
You head back down and kind of making eye contact with Glace, but being subtle as everyone is kind of kicking up some legs and tending to their wounds. You head on over, kind of looking as if you're just inspecting the cart, and kind of shove Rec over there and throw just like some cloth from the supplies in the cart over top of it.
Yeah, and I don't do like a thing where I like look at the camera before I turn it on. I just walk away, and I whisper, turn on Rec or whatever
Gotcha.
as I'm walking away.
Okay. You you sort of just like subtly flick the switch and kind of move on, with the camera pointed towards you all. It is quiet for everyone. You hear nothing but the soft sound of the waves, the fires that singed your skin, the demonic abyssal voices you heard as you clashed weapons and tore through skin and bone is gone. Now all you hear is the silent sound of the distance and the waves that crash up against this area here. It's at about 30 minutes in before everyone is allowed to finish their short rest that you see a vessel approaching.
Oh, perception. Perception. Can we do a perception?
Everyone can make a perception check if they like.
To hear techno pop coming from it.
Perception. Lucky.
Oh, Chemo.
Ooh, boy.
Chemo. Thank God.
Emo, he gets that good boy card.
Good pull.
Lowest perception all the way around, but otherwise.
You still get one for that. So, let's see. Yeah, Chemo. Chemo, you are able to notice out in the distance. For most others, they see a very, very difficult to discern silhouette shifting high in the sky. Chemo, you're able to make out more of this silhouette and are able to pick up that it is beginning to descend as it approaches the island here. You notice that it is a spelljammer from what it looks like, although it's made of a sleek design that seems to take the shape of a bird.
All right, everyone.
It's not us.
With that check, it looks as though it's made entirely from wood.
Oh, I expected something gold.
And
No.
it seems to be floating silently through the dark, starry sky as it slowly descends towards what looks like the docking area of the island you guys are on.
Does it look like?
Fa has a communicator, doesn't she?
She does.
Fa, is that you? Do you see us?
We know that's not the Dinkus, right?
I don't want a caramel macchiato. Yeah, let me get a donut too while we're at it.
Fa, are you in a drive? Get here!
Fa,
No.
you are just now seeing the outer wall of the Lux area open as the wreck boat begins to fly towards it, as the arcane man said. As the wreck boat enters through this open hole in the force wall, using your second sense to peer behind the craft as if you had sort of like chameleon eyes and could look in any direction you wanted around the vessel, you watch as the hull slowly shifts closing and becomes whole again. You now see the vastness of the water ahead of you and begin to shift forward over the waters, peering out for the rest of the group. Everyone else here now sees in better view a avian-looking ship of sleek design descending.
Can I do a really quick check? Have we seen this ship before?
You do not have to make a check as it
that's-
slowly descends. You have not seen this ship before.
It could be.
A long nose, what look to be 2 wings at the sides, and a tail that gives off the sense of a bird-like creature, or facsimile of one as the ship descends. It slowly begins to finish its landing here at the dock. As it does that, you guys are able now actually kind of see out onto the deck of the ship. And you guys are able to see as things come more appropriately into view what look to be 2 gold eye, or they seem to be dressed as gold eye. They are adorned in an intricate headpiece and black masks that cover their faces. They wear, from what you can tell, heavy-looking gold armor covered by a fine cloak made from what looks like very fine silk, and both of them carry large golden staffs with them. Behind them is a very, very large golem-looking creature that appears to be made completely from gold.
Don't like that.
It
Don't
stands
like
at
that.
attention. The ship lands softly at the side of the docks. The sound of a creaking wooden door can be heard. And you guys watch as you now see Lushee stepping out from somewhere inside the ship
Oh, that's
out
fine then.
onto the deck.
Maybe it's not a kill squad after all.
Should we cut Rick off?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You watch him as he is straightening his collar and steps off the ship onto the dock as the others follow him.
Oh, did we get a short? Did they get the benefits of a short rest or not?
Not with only 30 minutes.
Oh boy. It's got
Ooh.
grim, boys.
Oh no! Woo! Well,
As the gold
extra
golem
bad.
steps onto the docks, you hear the massive groan underneath the weight of the docks as it slowly, precariously steps forward.
Why is he there?
This is fine.
Lushee looks, seeing that you have all gathered here and seem to be sort of like finishing off resting from what you can from what looks like a difficult battle.
God.
He takes a second to peer around the exterior of this bank and says, "How many have you killed?"
Killed? Well, you can't kill a demon outside of hell. Their souls just go back. We've inconvenienced some things, maybe, but
Fair
Oh.
enough. How
Hugo holds
many
up his
have
hands.
you?
This many.
I think we tell him an accurate count of how many we dispatched.
And were there survivors?
There's
No.
a few, I think, downstairs. The golden ones.
And the lady, whatever her name was, who
Oh yes, I think the administrator split with the sub that we came in on.
I see. Tycoons, I'm going to say a few things, and I need you to pay attention. No tricks, no side diversions. Your full attention.
Hit us, big guy. Let's hear it.
Tycoons, I, Lushee Zillion Decree,
Oh God.
was not born on Halcyon. I was born on a small rock, overrun by its own population. The people of this world were a hodgepodge of miscreants and ne'er-do-wells, most of which were either hiding from the law or found themselves stranded there. It was small, cramped, isolated. There was no structure, no rule of law, and because of that, people continued to multiply with reckless abandon. Resources were scarce. Food and shelter was fought over, sometimes to death. You had to fight to survive. I worked my way up from a young street thief, clawing my way out of that lowly pit because I had a vision. I saw a future where I could make the best of a bad situation. There wasn't going to be enough food for everyone on that small rock, even with the rationing we had in mind. Some people would have to go without a roof over their heads during those terribly frigid nights. But if I didn't strive to strike some sort of balance, a compromise, if you will, everyone would have died. We would have torn each other apart. If I didn't use the position I'd found myself in to punish the guilty and keep some sense of reasonable peace, the whole thing would collapse.
A sacrifice for the greater good, then. That's something I'm relatively familiar with, let's say.
I'm sure you all would be, Aesop, you especially. There are gaps in your recordings, Tycoons. Times when you've turned a wreck off right before things you didn't want the public to see were wrought. Done things you probably shouldn't have, or at the very least were not proud of. I'm not blind to that. I have done the same thing. I have stood exactly where you are. And in this position, with my seniority within the Billionaire Bastion, I find myself standing there again. There are things here, Tycoons, that are bigger than you. Bigger than Wyrd and Wyld. A delicate web has been woven to keep Halcyon at peace. I didn't create this, I want you to know. I simply inherited some of it. When the Gilderkin family rescued me from that hole of a world, I pleaded to go back. My highest priority was the safety of those people. I wanted nothing more than to keep them safe, have food in their bellies, and for them to live the most fabulous lives possible. It was with the Gilderkins' mercy and resources that I learned I could not only provide for that tiny rock, but all of Halcyon's people. Their safety, Tycoons, is my utmost priority, and I will do everything in my power to uphold that. It is because of them that I must at times make very difficult decisions. These two individuals you see behind me are Godai Vizier. They hold one of the highest ranks as Halcyon officers. As you have probably taken stock, they wear thick, heavy, nearly impenetrable armor. I have worked specifically with the two that you see behind me for years, and have gotten to know them quite well. Along with the golem, they all obey my every command. Viziers, what is your decree? one of the black masked viziers stamps down a golden staff and says, "The Wyld Tycoons have unlawfully flown over the Lux Reservoir, trespassed on private property, and saw fit to take the lives of several of its employees. They have broken the Sheen Concordance, nay, shattered it. This offense is of such a high magnitude that it should surpass even the gold standard."
Oh no!
Invented a new crime, burglary.
Aw, ETA, honey.
Let's go, Grandpa. It's Sunday. Get off the road. Beep, beep.
Fa, give me a perception check, please.
Sure.
At disadvantage, because it is very dark.
Fa's like at the Burger King, like, I asked for no mayo. No mayo.
This has extra mayo.
Disadvantage, that's a 20.
Woohoo!
It is, besides what seems to be miles out, you are able to make the bare sense of what looks like the rest of the bottom side of Lux here. You see city streets and lights and lanterns that dot the horizon line. The rest of the waters here around is almost a pitch black. However, in the distance, still some ways out, you are able to make the bare sense of what looks to be a bluish-green phosphorescent smoke, almost just emitting from nothing into the air.
Oh, that's neat. Well, that's probably where I need to go.
She just keeps going, ooh, that's neat.
You continue piloting that way, now actually seeing some type of place to at least point the wreck boat in. Lushee looks at all of you and sighs. The viziers have made their decree, and it is with great reluctance that I must submit my verdict. I must sentence you to death.
Ow! That was out of character.
You all watch as the gold eye behind Lushee ready their weapons, pointing them at you guys.
The docks. The docks.
Lushee turns and says, "Gold eye, jump." The two viziers look confused for a second at one another and turn as they see the massive gold golem jump into the air and land on the dock. It goes crashing straight through the dock itself. You hear the splintering of wood, a massive splash, pieces of wood fly, nearly hitting some of you. Confused and bewildered, the two gold-eye, donned in heavy gold armor, slip and fall into the waters themselves. You hear their screams and then the gurgle of water behind them.
Lushee, what the hell was that? What's happening?
Lushee turns to you all and straightens his collar again. Fa, you can now see a dock, barely lit, as if there are walls of reflective glass that have been erected around the island exterior everywhere around it. It's a good thing that this makeshift smoke light was able to pull you in. It looks as though a ship has already landed. You guys on the docks see Lushee turn back towards the bubbling waters. He turns to you all. "I bought you some time.
Oh.
But there's still a lot to go over. Does anyone know what that ship up there is?" he says, pointing now as you all look, seeing the wreck boat approaching.
That's our, or was going to be our ride. when we became certain that you were coming with Goldeye to kill us. And it
I see.
seems our assumption was mostly correct.
Mostly. He watches the ship as it descends. You still hear the occasional bubble coming from behind the crashed dock. Fa, you come in now and are able to... The ship won't land in water, but you're able to land it like right there. And
To the rescue.
I'll throw you over there if you want to pop out.
Yeah.
Fox, just what's up, guys?
I'm here to save everybody.
Just in the nick of time, Fa.
She bends over. She doubles over like she ran all the way here.
Oh.
This may be advantageous. I realize you just got here, but one of you will need to get back on this ship of yours. Pilot it back to your main ship. I believe it was a geodesic ship.
It's the one.
And you'll need to get it off of Halcyon as soon as possible.
Oh, well.
Everyone else will need to come with me.
Insight check. Insight check. I mean, I know there's just so much going on right now. Okay, I believe whatever is happening.
Oh, go at advantage. Go at advantage.
Oh, God. What about a 10? Does a 10 work?
Jeez.
I'm sorry.
Thank you, Thank you.
It seems as though there is a haste in his voice, and he wants you to listen to him.
Alright, guys, let's do what he says.
Aesop. We are extremely fucking him over right now if he's trying to help us.
Not necessarily.
You
Sure,
don't
he'll
think?
understand.
We're going to make my way back to my office, and we will discuss these matters there. And not a word until we reach it.
One thing, Lushee, I know we've already put you in so much trouble, but we are on a very tight time schedule right now, which is exactly why we had to take such drastic measures to begin with. The pilot of our ship is dying, and we only have 3 days to cure her. That's the truth.
That's why we're
Is
doing
that the reason you needed to get to hell?
Yes,
Indeed.
Yes.
We
there's
took
someone there
what,
who can save her.
Yes, we took what we felt would be the quickest option, which was to get something from this bank, which we did.
Then save your words. We will go back to my office and discuss this further. We need to leave this place immediately.
Fair enough. Okay. All right then. Who's going back to the geodesic ship then?
I
Watson?
mean, I can, if you want. I mean, we have 2 of Kyle's characters here, so.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
guessing that's what the subtle implication is.
Yeah,
That one of the characters is going back.
So it would be mechanically Fari has to then.
All right.
She's the only one with spell slots.
Here,
You can just keep the spell slot that you blew. It's not a far distance that you're traveling. It's like every 8 hours you have to use another spell slot. Or
Yeah,
something like
I'm
that.
saying Chemo doesn't have any more.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen everybody.
here. Well, it's only you that's going. We're going back on Lushee's ship. Is that the understanding?
He wants the rest of you to come with him.
All right. Aesop takes his cane and he gives it to Chemo. He's like, hold on to that for a second, will you? One thing before you go.
Yeah.
And, Aesop wants to walk into the ship out of view.
Sure.
Aesop is going to take the gold from his bag and put it in one of the compartments on the ship.
Whoa. Neat.
Don't worry, it's probably going to turn to blood if we leave Halcyon, so keep it in a dry place.
What the shit?
All right,
Okay.
all right. It looks good. Thanks for holding that for me.
No problem.
So that's about 9,000 gold worth of gold.
I came all this way to pick up blood gold and then.
Hey, some of it might not turn to blood. We don't know yet.
Okay, guys. Well, maybe don't call with urgency if it's not urgent next time.
It
It was
urgent.
incredibly
It was
urgent.
very urgent.
Oh, gotcha.
Well,
Oh,
I can't man almost shit himself. I've never seen somebody made of magic almost shit himself, but he almost shit himself.
Oh.
Fa, you get in your ship and begin piloting it back.
Yeah.
Okay. The rest of you, as Lushee begins to board this ship of his, is everyone following along with him to get on?
yeah. As soon as he turns around, I beckon Rek over to me.
Rek, okay. He gets on, but I will say this, he waits for all of you to get on with him.
Oh yeah, no. I'm just making sure that as he turns around, Rek is behind me, so I can whisper to it, "Turn off."
Okay.
But more, actually, no. I wait for Rek to get up to me, and then Aesop says, "Sorry, it was my idea. Insurance policy. Rek, turn off."
You flip the switch and Rek goes on.
Aesop, was that right?
I guess only time will tell. Let's follow Lushee for now. And anyone also following us should tag along.
I look around. I look around for a sassy blur that's just, you know, I look around to see if I can see like a sassy blur.
A sassy blur. I love it.
My perception is 11, 12, 13, 14. Wow. 14.
You do not see any type of sassy blur.
Oh, that bitch. Alright.
Not even regular kind of.
You all follow Lushee on board this avian-looking ship, and he silently sits into the Spelljammer helm, and the craft picks up from the docks. You hear bits and pieces of wood from the splintered area that the golem fell through begin to fall off from the ship as it ascends, and you glide through the silent night.
Hey, so if you drown on this side of the lake, do you pop up on the other side or this side?
Lushee says nothing.
Usually, bodies don't float or don't sink to the bottom. They tend to float after
Yeah.
rigor mortis sets in.
Right. They sink first.
Oh yes, that's true. Good point.
I don't look at Lushee, and I just speak openly to him and say, you know, they won't be able to find out you or what you did on a ship that they can't find. There's a spot for you, at least by my word.
He, not looking back, says, "Wait until we get back to my office, please."
Can I see if there's anything on the ship? Like, is there a reason why we need to be silent? Is there something happening that we're not, you know, like, that could be a reason why we're not speaking?
Sure.
I'm nudging everyone to like look around because I clearly don't see.
I'll make an investigation to make sure. Well, yeah, I'll still make an investigation, but I feel like Lushee is literally taking us back to his office because that golem and the gold eye could have just tried to kill us here if that was the goal. That's a 24 on investigation.
You do not see anything that denotes the idea that this place is being filmed. You don't see any like separate rec or even like rec adjacent devices set up in here. It seems actually, as you peer around, to be completely devoid of any gold pieces or anything at all. A complete and stark difference to what you are used to seeing everywhere else on Halcyon.
That's a natural one on perception.
Oh, buddy. I appreciate you being honest.
Can
Go ahead and take me one of them cards.
About a 23 arcane adjacent.
You do not sense any arcane-like magic or scrying in this area.
Lushee is an Eidolon, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he mentioned that he was like saved or adopted by the Gilderkin, like the dwarf family. Is that right?
Yes, who own the Billionaire Bastion.
Okay.
Maybe the only place where he's not getting spied on is in his office.
It is a quiet trip. You guys are able to look out of the portholes and see you leaving Lux and re-entering through topside. It is bright. You look down to see various people shifting through the streets, almost cheerful if not for the current situation. You look out and see the large towers rising in the distance of Halcyon Heights, where Lushee's office lay, and the ship that you are flying in finds a very tall docking area at the side of the tower, and it lands on it. Lushee silently steps out of the spelljammer and opens the door and ushers you guys to follow him out.
Let's go then.
He passes silently by a few Goldeye, because you guys know through the various floors of Halcyon Heights here, there are Goldeye stationed at practically every floor and every door.
That's why I got rid of all the gold I had.
Not a bad idea. He moves to his office door that you guys have been plenty of times before and steps inside, allowing you guys to enter. Two Goldeye, who were standing at attention at the door, begin to shift into the interior, and Lushee turns around and says, "Leave." And they nod and step out, closing the door behind. He locks it. As this time has passed, Fa, you would have arrived back at the geodesic ship. You land the ship nearby and are unsure for just a second how exactly you're going to get the ret boat back inside, since there's no conventional entrance. And with a flash of white light, you find yourself back in the deploying area, the dispatch center. And I think you're on mute.
Oh, right, magic.
The arcane man and the navigator are there tending to Kui and ask how things went.
Well, everybody seemed pretty stressed, and then Aesop gave me a bunch of blood gold. She was there.
I see.
She gives a better recap, but...
Are they returning to the ship themselves?
Don't know. They just went to Lushee's office, I guess.
Very well. We shall wait to hear word from them then.
No, he told you to leave Halcyon immediately. That was very clearly stated.
But above all, I think they told us that we need to get the fuck out of here. Need to move the ship.
Without them in tow.
Oh. I think the importance is that we're not here right now. We can come back.
Very well. I suppose we should move the geodesic ship out somewhere outside of the sphere that contains Halcyon, but not too different. Perhaps a few hours outside the perimeter.
Yeah, is there like some dark side of a moon that we can go to? That would be a good name for.
I will keep an eye out for it. We will begin our exit now.
And he, speaking with a navigator, that small, alien-looking creature, it shifts off, and the geodesic ship. You watch on the arcane illusion hologram as you see the landing bay of the harbor begin to shift away as you ascend out of the harbor and begin to leave Halcyon. The rest of you guys step inside of Lushee's office. He locks the door behind him and steps back over to his desk and sits down. You see him quickly rummaging through the desk drawers, and he pulls out a very thick and large bottle of what looks like some type of scotch, and pours himself a very large drink in a shot glass and just quickly downs it.
Oh no.
He looks to all of you and says, "So, tell me again what your exact plan was and why you needed to infiltrate this bank."
We're trying to save our pilot of our ship, and there is a soul in hell that we need to get to. And we need to get to hell first, so there was a lead at the bank that would help us get there.
Because we needed a guide, you see. Hell has all sorts of different layers, chambers, and whatnot, and we needed to go to one in particular, and only that one. The Vault of Desire, it's called.
And we only have 3 days to do all of this, so we are desperate. So we are trying basically what we have at our fingertips, which is going and infiltrating demon banks at the moment. We don't have any other way there, so.
We didn't know it was a demon bank exactly, although Glace had her.
I knew it. I called it.
You know, we never found Decker. Am I to assume you had something to do with that as well?
Who?
The private eye. I had you look for him a few months back.
Oh, right.
He seemed to handily slip through our fingers.
He's a slippery guy.
Glace fucking cracks open a Miller Lite, just fucking chugs it.
Oh no! Oh god, that's fine.
This soul in the vault. I am privy to a certain amount of knowledge surrounding Halcyon. Am I to assume that somewhere here there is a golden statue of this person or individual?
Indeed.
On the nose?
Yes.
Who exactly
indeed.
told you about this bank?
Now, Lushee. That's information. I don't think that is safe getting out. We are
You
the only
guys-
people that need to be involved in this dangerous situation.
You guys hear a scratching at Lushee's window. He steps up and shifts the golden blinds to see a sizzling bat slapping against it.
Poor little baby.
Oh, yes, let's dispense with the pleasantries. That's the one.
He
Let him in.
shifts open the window and says, "You're allowed in, come on."
Oh,
And
nice.
shifting inside, slapping against the ground, shifting, growing mass now, and quickly taking the form of Zedbane. You see him slapping his hair, putting out a few flames. He looks up to everyone with a toothy grin and says, That part of the plan would be me, Lushee. I take full responsibility. I have a little debt to settle with a particular individual in the vault.
And it just so happens our needs aligned at the time. It was really what we thought was the perfect, merger
Oh.
Listen, we needed a way to get there quickly, and this seemed to be the best option.
I understand that. I do. But there are things here. Things I need to keep in check. Your rec device. First off, we need to destroy it.
Oh.
Sorry? Once more?
We need to destroy your rec device.
Oh.
Get rid of it. We need to make sure no one else absconds with it to view what is on there.
Well, given the circumstances, I feel that's only fair.
Aesop. The guilt's getting me, Aesop.
Do you want to smash it? I could smash it for you.
Please. Do with it what you will. Just make sure it's destroyed.
Right, sorry, little buddy. And Aesop will just take his cane and fucking stab it like a dead bird. Just.
You guys hear the crunching and grinding of metal and gold.
Sorry.
It just crumples underneath the strength of Aesop's strong arm.
Oh, it's like losing a friend, but for the greater good, we'll say, won't we?
At this point.
Not a word of what we say here leaves this room. Am I to assume that is accepted by everyone here?
I don't know what you're talking about. I've been
The guilt meter on Glacé is like overpowering.
Glacé.
Remember Kui. We're doing this for Kui.
Aesop, but Rek.
It's for Kui, though.
I know, we all loved Rek. He was like a member of the family, but he had to die.
Oh.
Aesop's good at that. I mean,
Sun Kong, that is perilously close to being very hurtful, but I'll accept it for the time being.
What would happen if word got out? Just asking.
Put two and two together. What do you think?
I want to know. I want to hear it from you, Lushee. What would happen to you if word got out?
They were ready to kill us.
There would be ripple effects that would affect both me and you as well. Despite saving all of your hides, Tycoons, you still have broken the Sheen Concordance, a secret pact that all billionaires must respect and enforce. Because you left survivors at the bank, as you mentioned, Glacé, no doubt they'll eventually send word to the billionaire heads, and they'll order a manhunt for you all.
Ooh.
If not simply demanding more innocent individuals instead. Or both.
Oh dear.
Aesop.
What? What do you want me to do about it? We're just going to have to deal with the demons as they come.
But
The thing is, they can't kill you all if you're already dead.
What does that mean? What do you mean?
He reaches into a desk drawer
God.
and pulls out what looks to be a
Quick draw handgun.
It's our Call of Cthulhu campaign all over again. He pulls out a cube-shaped container that looks to be about 5 to 6 inches on a side. It looks as though it's composed of airtight interlocking parts that are made from very black metal-looking materials. Almost like some type of iron.
what is that?
He says that when people such as yourselves find out about some of the secrets surrounding Halcyon, My orders are to give them this box that will help illuminate them on what is truly happening here.
Oh, that's going to kill us, isn't it? That's not a smart box. That's a kill box, I'm guessing. That's what I would do if I were a demon trying to keep a secret.
Now, Tycoons, I don't have time to go over the whole history of Halcyon. If you want to find your answers, if you ever are able to, you'll need to seek out a place called the Gugarium Cluster.
Gugatium cluster. Have we heard of that before? That sounds.
It sounds
It
familiar.
does sound
doesn't
familiar.
it? Have we heard of that before, Jason? Do you know?
Glosse, it is on the tip of your mind, almost something forgotten. You remember reading in the bank library, actual Halcyon's bank library, not the demon library, that the Gugatium Cluster is where the Gilderkin family
That's right. Were they
decades
mine?
ago got their start.
Well,
What
In
about
the meantime, go ahead, Glosse.
what about the cluster now?
You'll be able to find your answers there, provided you have the opportunity to go there at some point.
what does the cube do then?
The cube will take you to a place. And this place can help you get to the Vault of Desires. You, using this box, will have to go through a process known as the gold standard. Your bodies, your physical forms will be rendered into gold. However, your souls, because of the curse cast upon you through the gold standard, will be sent to the vault.
Oh, so like what's his face? What happened?
We were trying
How
to
do we get back then, when we're done?
That is part of the issue. A is how to get you all back. And on top of that, B is keeping your golden bodies safe while your souls are there. Shifting from the corner of the room, Glosse, you hear a figure say, "Well, I can help with that."
Oh, it's you.
You see Flavio standing in the corner.
Who could
You were gonna make us
show
jump
up?
through that portal, Flavio. All of this nonsense about Lushee gonna kill us, and here we are.
It's unfortunate that you didn't. You wouldn't find yourselves in this mess.
Probably a worse one.
Where does it really go? That portal.
I don't know.
You
Oh.
are something else.
It seems as though both of you are in a desperate place. Lushee, you need to keep secrets covered. And Tycoons, it appears as though you have someone who needs saving in the vault.
Oh, Lushee, this is the tool that we needed at the bank, by the way.
Emphasis on tool.
I see. I believe I could help, Flavio says, placing a hand on his chest.
Finally.
Help in what way, Flavio? I mean, obviously as a guide, but what else can you offer?
You see, I work at the Vault of Desires. It is my place of employment, and I know the exact structure of how things work there.
And you will help us because...
Yeah,
Is
what's
it-
in it for you?
Oh, there are things that I want, but first let me lay out my plan before offering what I would like. A twofold plan. Once you are submitted to the gold standard, I know of the routes in which the golden forms of these statued bodies are taken throughout and delivered to the various hidden infernal banks throughout Halcyon. It is possible with some resources, Flavio says, turning to Lushee, that I could intercept this transaction and keep all of your bodies safe. Because your bodies are in a state of limbo. The special magic surrounding the gold standard, it curses the soul. They're immediately sent to the Vault of Desires in a town called Samora and Azagrad. The souls themselves are a bit on various demons, judging their potential to serve the Dark Prince as a piece of entertainment, if you get my drift. But the souls sent to the vault are stored in soul shells upon arrival. You will not have your gear, none of your weapons, nothing you are carrying, but in these cold, milky forms, you will at least have a physical presence. They will serve as a facsimile to your real body. And I've heard that those with powerful wills can still wield their powers, at least for a time, while there.
Huh.
Lushee turns. Get to the point. Flavio turns to you and says, if you are submit to the gold standard, I can secure your gold bodies en route before they go to an infernal bank. And likewise, I can provide assistance through the use of my sister. You've met her before, Chastity. She too works at the vault.
Oh.
Provided that you aren't sold to a high bidder first.
What kind of people buy souls? Is it just
Demons.
anyone? Oh, okay, I see. Rich
All
people.
right. We're going to need to know what you're getting out of this, because we would be crazy to entrust our souls, one, to denizen of hell, no offense, and two, I mean, if our bodies are going to get turned to gold, like, right? Am I crazy here? Like, this feels foolish and without more information.
It
Yeah,
does.
Yes.
I'm keen on losing my body again. I mean, I just got this one back. It's not even mine yet. Doesn't even smell like me.
Lushee says, either way, this has to happen, Tycoons. We are just trying to work out the best course for two. But you bring up a good point, Aesop. What do you want in return, Flavio? Flavio looks to you all and says, besides yourselves, you mentioned that there was another golden form here on Halcyon that I would need to acquire, correct?
Yes.
I will need the directions to this person.
Well, that person is safe. Like, that whole form should be safe. Right? Nobody knows about that form? I look at Lushee.
Here's the skinny of things. Once I get your gold bodies, I will need someone to pilot a ship outside of Halcyon. I could give you at least a few hours. This would give you enough time to do whatever you need to do in the abyss. Upon the fact of you coming back to your normal forms outside of the limits of the force wall, where the magic of the sheen no longer functions, you will return to your real flesh and bone. And provided you've done a little bit of work down in the vault, your souls will return back to your bodies. So we need this extra golden statue so that we can do the same thing for them too. This way you'll be saving yourselves and this individual you need. But to do all this, I need resources. I need a ship to sneak them out. I need quite a few things. If you're asking what I want your position, he says, turning to Lushee.
Oh. My goodness.
Guys, suspense.
How can I trust you? I've never met you before. Flavio says, Well, you can't. But I know the situation you're in. If you don't send them to the Sheen, she will find out. And she will cut a swath through this city until they're found. However, if you send the group to her now, the deed will already be done. You could save lives by already of committing them to the gold standard. It will save the people of this city, Lushee.
Oh, someone make an insight check on him, please.
I mean, I'm not. It's been whatever, but that's a natural 20.
Oh!
Oh, thank the Lord.
Take your good boy card.
I was gonna say, do we bother rolling anymore? Or are we just gonna count that as the
Do
success?
it anyway. Do it anyway.
Well, I'm gonna go full in on resources on this, so I'm gonna roll it at advantage.
I'll say Glosse gets the gist from her insight check.
Okay.
The look of anguish and reluctance on Lushee's face is almost enough to tell you that what Flavio is saying is true.
All right. Well, Flavio knows the whole deal better than us, so I guess it makes sense.
Flavio wants Lushee's position?
That's correct.
Oh my god. Well, do we unleash a horde of demons upon the innocence of Halcyon?
No!
Do we put a demon in charge of their well-being?
That is less bad sounding.
It is certainly less bad sounding in the short term, yes.
And you'd be surprised how many are already in that position.
But who would accept you? First of all, who would accept you in Lushee's position?
Oh, my dear, I'm not going to be serving as Flavio, and you see him shift and take the form of Lushee.
Oh my god.
I'll just be continuing his business as usual, of course.
Oh, he's in the shape? Okay, yeah. Oh, made me gag there. Hold on.
That's what she said.
What do you think, Lushee? I mean, it sounds...
Lushee's like crying into his desk. What do you think, Lushee?
What would become, like, what would you do? Like, what would become of Lushee then?
Just wanted to run my own vineyard.
Let me figure that myself, Glosse.
Oh my god, I feel so bad for Lushee.
I do
You're always
too.
welcome with us.
He's been a true blue hero and we've done nothing but ruin his life.
We fucking have.
You could always come with us. Go independent.
We can
I
keep
don't
you.
trust this figure.
Oh,
However,
well,
at the same time, I know what happens if I don't turn you in, especially after this debacle.
Well, what do you think, Zed Bane? Are you coming with? What do you think of this plan?
This presents an issue. I wouldn't be able to follow y'all there.
Why is
but
that?
I have no easy way of getting there myself.
wait, is it because you don't have a soul?
It's
Because I don't know
a
vampires.
weird state of flux, if you will.
Oh.
And I'm not even sure that whoever this figure is that puts people to the gold standard would want to turn me into gold, so much as just in me.
Oh.
Y'all already know enough of what I want for my plan. The vault has a master of ceremonies. Perhaps you talk to them, find out where this Rhaegar that y'all need is, and before heading out, you just maybe remove his head from his shoulders.
Master of ceremonies, you might have told us the name, but what's the name?
I don't exactly know.
You
Matter
don't
of
know?
fact, whether it's a he or a she, I'm also unsure of. My time in the vault was hazy at best.
Well, the title is distinct enough. I'm sure there's only one Master of Ceremonies. So remember, Rinkaz, we find the Rhaegar first, Then we kill him, not the other way around.
This is all a bit much for me, but just point and I'll click.
Okay, all right. I need to be careful what I point at then.
Look over there!
Now listen here. Wait, no!
My hand is still on my gun. It's been there since we've left.
Oh.
Kui. This is all for Kui Ring.
It's all for Kui.
It's for
We
Kui.
do this all for you, Kui.
If they wanted us dead, Rinkaz, we'd be
Yeah, we'd be dead already.
I feel like we're a piece in between 5 different players at the moment.
It seems like Lushee did help you back there, Flavio says. But what he has been reluctant to tell you is that the Gilderkin family is not the head of the Billionaire Bastions.
They're demons, right?
Something like that.
I knew it.
Of course. At this point.
The box Lushee is gonna hand you, it will take you all to the Sheen. You will be submitted to the gold standard, where you will find yourselves in the vault. If you're smart, you will not fight back.
Rinkaz.
I ain't fighting anything.
Oh.
Right.
Trust
And Chemo and Sun Kong, we have 3 troublemakers, really.
Can you imagine that being turned to gold, chopped into pieces, and being used to buy something for someone else?
Oh, no, I couldn't imagine that, but now that you say it, it's...
Aesop writes a letter in Orin to his daughter, just letting her know if something happens, he loves her lots and she's got a lot of potential, and also she should sell his cure if she can. It's an Orin, so it looks like chicken scratch. It's just squawk, 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 squawk. In different sizes. And I hand the letter to Lushee doesn't look like he speaks Orin, so I write, P.S. Give any of my remaining treasure to Lushee. I know he's probably still stinking rich, but it's the least I could do if I don't come back. And I hand it to Lushee and say, make sure this finds its way to my daughter if we don't make it back from the gold standard. And for what it's worth, I am sorry about all of this.
He takes the rolled up letter and slips it underneath his coat through the neck and says, the 3 of us will need some time to plan some things. Glacé, your metal friend there, will also have to stand aside. It has no soul to give, I assume. I see no eyes within.
Oh, Clatter, it's been such a good run. I take off the ring. Lushee, maybe you can watch Clatter for me while I'm away.
Very well, he says, and he takes the ring and slips it on a finger. Do what Flavio's instructed. Once you get to the vault, find his sister. Work with her or potentially this master to find the individual you need, and do it quickly. You will only have a few hours before we're able to abscond with your golden bodies outside of Halcyon's perimeter. If you haven't done it by then, you'll be pulled back.
Okay.
Very well. Whenever you're ready, I'll need you to step more towards the center of my office away from us and activate the puzzle box.
With the communicators, I want to see if there's a way I can call and let the arcane man know what's happening. And I suggest to Nvidi to put his book deep inside of his coat.
My coat, yes.
The arcane man says,
I understand. We will try to take refuge here, as Falls mentioned, behind some asteroids or perhaps a nearby moon. Somewhere to play it safe until you return. Be safe.
We'll do our best.
Despite the situation, realize that you are on the last step of getting what you need so that we can give Kui a true form.
Yes.
Gosh, I hope.
he hangs up. Remember, all of you, you will not be taking any of your weapons. You'll be taking none of your armor. You will need to be more crafty than you have ever been in the vault.
So fucked.
We're going in naked.
Quite literally.
Alright.
Alright, so we need to find the Master of Ceremonies. We need to ask about the Rhaegar. We also need to ask it about a potential body for Kui, right?
Well, the Rhaegar is gonna make that, right? I thought that's the only reason we were...
Okay, all right. Is that the correct assumption, Jason? Is that the Rhaegar can actually make us the body for Kui and transfer it?
When you snuck into Zix's house, seeing his gold form, you met Romulus, another Rhaegar.
Right.
And Romulus told you that going on this Rhaegarian rite for Glosse, that you guys were going to have the potential to find Zix and return him to his body, and in doing so, he would potentially make you a new form for Kui. And it had to be him because Rhaegar are like a near legendary race. Some say that they're the crafters of magic items themselves, and so you get the sense that if anyone can do this, it may just be a Rhaegar.
And his name was Zix, the soul we're looking for?
Zix is the one you're looking for, full name Zixodronus.
Okay, Zix will work, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
XIX.
Boy, I hope it doesn't take a human shell or a soul to help create that body for her.
Why would you say that?
Kui
Why?
has a soul. Kui
He
has
is the soul.
or
Oh, I meant as payment.
like a material used
Yeah.
to make it. I see. Well,
Just gotta always prepare for the worst, you know.
We better be worth a hell of a lot if this falls through.
I mean, you heard what we did earlier. Unthinkable, shattering, terrible things that we've done, so maybe we've rolled up nice little toll now.
Oh, I'm sure you all will have high bidders there.
Oh boy.
This is the worst. I never thought it would go this way. Of all the ways I could potentially die, this was like near the bottom of the list. Being turned into a gold statue, that is.
And your soul being milked down into hell to be a
I don't know. It's kind of a
puppet.
fantasy. I don't know.
Oh, of course it would be. For you know what? Let's go stand on this spot in the floor and touch this fucking cube. I want to get this over with, and we are short on time anyway.
Remember, if you're stuck like this forever, you might as well make it glamorous.
Ugh.
I strike a pose and I like hold my hand out, cube or whatever we need to do.
I'll drink to that. Aesop will also put his hand on the cube or whatever we need to do.
You guys see this like infernal cube, and get the sense that you'll need to make some type of check to properly activate it. It's almost like a puzzle box. There's pieces and parts that seem to whir and shift.
At least it's fun.
I give Clatter a goodbye kiss before I try any cube. What check? Can we do Arcana? Look at this, NVD.
Arcana or investigation would
I'll
work.
do investigation on it.
Arcana.
And yeah, this is a group check if you guys want to.
Oh.
Dude, these story-based crits. What the fuck? This is great.
Let's do investigation.
Mine's a 15. And VD's like, I have such sights to show you.
We're turning into gold. Remember, guys.
Oh, of course. Of course that VD would be the one to solve it.
Let's see. +0 to investigation, +0 to arcana. Rincast points his gun at the box, question mark.
Is this something that we can punch to death?
No, you have to use your brain meat.
Ah.
See, she's right. I have an unarmed attack I can use my teeth for, so I'm going to start gnawing on it.
Oh.
Oh, and VD natty 20.
Yep.
Good job, buddy. Let me give you a good boy card.
Walking in.
There you are, mate.
Do we all need to roll for this?
Not with
Okay.
not with the checks that I've gotten.
Right.
NVD, you definitely have at least heard of these puzzle boxes before. They are actually crafted in hell, in the abyss. They typically are made very difficult to crack as they hold all kinds of either paperwork or contracts that have been made. But this one seems much more easily worked in terms of solving it. With a few twists and turns with some help of the other members of the party, the puzzle box begins to expand, and a golden aura with symbols and shapes begins to spin around as the puzzle box opens and folds out flat, like a rice box opening up. And this design, this runic pattern, begins to grow across the floor, shifting underneath each of your feet. Lushee looks on with a worried look on his face. You see Flavio smile, and Zedbane just sort of stares at each of you.
Bye.
Later, nerds.
Everything goes dark.
Tell my mother that I...
All right, so what characters are you guys playing now?
Oh,
Jason's like, well, actually, yeah.
oh
What
no.
characters are you guys playing now?
I'm playing Omek, the immune to gold.
Oh, cool ambience.
The first sensation that hits you all is the sense of extreme heat. As you peer around, I will move the map over.
Oh. Oh no.
You find yourselves standing in what looks to be a room with various open windows surrounding all of it.
Oh, this looks fun.
Black marble is encased around the entirety of the area here. And at the sides of this marble-like room are tall marble figures that all sport a demonic visage. You're not sure if they're tiefling or something else. Outside of the windows as you peer out looks to be just an ever-burning fire. It looks like a just massive immolating ball of fire outside. The runic pattern continues to shift below you. You can see the reflection of the rays of fire on the marble below you, and you all immediately begin to sweat. As you peer at the far end, with a vast open area at the end of the room, there's not even a wall behind the figure. You just see the fire, and outlined in front of the fire is the silhouette of what looks like some type of couch, a long chair or sofa, and laying on it is the silhouette of a figure The top half looks slightly female, although you notice her hair shifts and moves. There is a glistening to her form. The bottom half shifts and whips around, snake-like and serpentine with a tail.
Oh boy.
All right, everyone, hero poses. You don't want to die looking like a coward.
I want to do a check on this. Did I read about this in that bank by any chance?
You can make a check, sure.
History maybe?
Sure.
15?
You don't remember seeing...
Mm.
There seemed to be a suspiciously slim amount of reading on anything regarding the abyss or demons or anything like that, but nothing covering whatever this is. You guys look now as your eyes and vision begin to acclimate to the area here, the brightness becoming slightly less dull, but the heat still pervasive and surrounding you. The figure looks almost like the same thing you fought in the bank vault, although this one is adorned in what looks like almost completely gold armor. And atop her head appears to be various golden tendrils.
Nice.
Instead of hair that end in snake-like faces. Her face and her visage covered by a gold and white mask as she appears before you.
Hello.
You watch as she slithers in her chair, and she turns to you all, at least locking eyes through this mask that covers her face, and she says, I am the Sheen, the malevolence, the golden enriching queen. What terrible crime have you wrought to bring yourselves before my feet?
What did we break? The Sheen Concordance? Something like that. Sheen Concordance. I don't know. Get my good side, will you? And Aesop puts his cane on the ground and holds a potion in his hand. Is like this.
Oh, Glacé goes up behind, like beside him, and also poses. Oh, this is great.
I'm gonna walk up far away from them
Face.
to the side and then take a knee and look up to her and say, "We shattered the Sheen Accordance."
You have broken the Sheen Concordance, and yet you so willingly accept your death.
We've seen a lot.
Oh, is it
Making
this
a
one?
picture.
This one or this one? What do you guys think?
You have seen nothing yet. Enjoy eternal damnation.
It's been nice, y'all.
serving under the fingers of the Dark Prince.
Okay.
And you watch as she shifts her mask off of her face, and you now see, peering out from above the mask, two shining golden eyes.
Oh my.
You all watch as your forms shift and turn to gold. And this place, you leave.
Good game, y'all.
It was a good
I
run.
don't want to die again.
Poor Chemo. Been nothing but
He's
trouble
like-
for him.
He gets like half blink. He gets turned to gold half blink as well. So it's just like, oh no.
Oh.
Yeah. Sun Kong's picking
Job
his
for
nose.
eternity.
If you guys will zoom
Oh.
over to the
Oh,
right
no.
side.
Oh no.
Right side.
I heard the music immediately. I was like,
Oh
no.
no! Oh my god!
This is fine.
You shift around. It feels like you've woken from hours-long exercise. Your bodies feel sore. You peer out, your vision fuzzy at first. It looks as though you're in some type of large cage of some type. As your vision clears, you notice that it is made of a thick bone. You hear the sounds of screeching and wailing coming from perhaps somewhere in this room or outside. To the adjacent spots of the cage is a purplish pink flame that burns in a brazier. And behind the cage, you all see against the wall, where windows normally are flickering blue flames. Kimon and Vidi, you two closer to it. As it flicks closer to you, it feels extremely cold.
Ice fire.
You guys look down at your hands and feet and now see that you are clothed in the barest sense. There's like a cloth over your form. Besides that, your bodies look like a facsimile of your physical selves, though somewhat muted. The barest essentials are there, and you all seem to have this desaturated white milky look to you all. As you all come to, you also notice that there seems to be a couple other people in the cage with you. It looks like some type of dragonborn, a dwarf of some type, and a elf female, similar to yourselves, a garishly white appearance with barely anything clothing them. They seem to already be standing and gripping the sides of the bone cage, staring out in this room interior. The only other place you see in the room is straight ahead of you. There appears to be some type of doorway. There doesn't seem to be a closed door or anything blocking your view, but it's as if there's just a wall of pure darkness that doesn't allow you to see any further.
So what you do to get in, big guy?
Yeah, that's
I say that in character to the dragonborn.
He turns and says,
All I remember was being brought before something. I couldn't explain it. I don't know why. I had debts.
ah,
What is
that's
this
why. Honey.
place?
We are in the let's say the afterlife, shall we?
What do you mean?
Oh,
As
what
the-
you're seeing is souls. We are no longer corporeal, let's say.
The elven woman turns to you and says, What do you mean? Why do we look like this?
Oh, Glasse, you're good. You tell them.
Dead?
Did you?
I still feel, I still see.
Yes, it's your soul, honey. You owed money, so you probably owed a lot and didn't pay it, and this is how you're going to pay it.
I don't understand.
Yeah, it's.
Well, I'll tell you what. It's because the family that almost runs Halcyon made a pact with a bunch of demons a long time ago to keep balance and lawfulness for the greater good. And if you ever escape hell, you should tell as many people as possible.
Definitely.
We're in hell, by the way. We didn't mention that.
I have children, she says, and you see
Not
her
anymore.
slink down onto
No.
her
Nope.
bottom and just
Get up.
cover her face and begin to cry.
No, honey. Get up. Don't give up. That's right. I try to comfort her and tell her that if we stick together, we can work to get out of this.
We're
That's
all
right,
about to be sold.
Yeah, we've got an inside man that's gonna help us out with this, I'm sure. I hope he actually helps us. I whisper.
All of you feel, besides missing all of your gear, you feel as though your strength of will and resilience gives you access to all of your personal faculties in terms of your magic and everything else. However, in these forms, you feel as though they do not have the resilience that they would in your typical physical selves. So, you keep everything you have in terms of your character sheet and stats, but you have half of your hit points.
Oh, boy. Woo!
I, for the first time ever in Dungeons and Dragons, had over 50 HP, and now I'm back to 5.
Oh no.
I'm guessing I have no bombs, Chase.
You look around, and other than the just dirty cloth that covers your form, see no tools, no bombs, no anything.
Oh, I was gonna ask, so Fa's not here.
Yes, Fa is not there. Sorry about that.
Sorry.
Fa crashed the ship and is here independent of everyone else.
Oh, hey guys! She's texting.
Oh, how many times do we have to tell you don't text and spell jam? Look what you've done.
I mean, to be fair, no more times. Almost killed Luke.
Shit. Well, nothing we could do now but to keep a stiff upper lip and hope that that untrustworthy incubus keeps up his end of the bargain.
Oh,
Out
what
of-
could go wrong?
Out of curiosity, I look at Chemo. Does it look like a Goliath soul?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
Yeah, he seems to have the physical form of what he did currently.
Oh.
Taller, although kind of gross and almost milky texture to his skin, but still the general form of Chemo as the Goliath.
I laugh to myself and say, the one thing we didn't want to become, we became.
Dead?
Dead?
No, I mean, close. Those fucking horrible milk monsters.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
Hey, let's try to get out of this fucking cage.
Yeah, let's do that.
Is any of this dim light?
Not in here
Ah,
because of the light sources all around.
what if I guess? Do we have our resources like full rest, or are we still running off the same stuff we had before?
You guys are in new forms, so used spell slots are back. The only disadvantage is you have half of your health being in these weakened soul shells.
Well, good news, everyone. All we need to find is a bunch of plants and bottles that went to hell, and I can make more potions and reagents and such. That's a joke. Little joke to liven up the place, because, we're all dead and everything.
I mean,
What do you say, Rinkaz? Think we could probably just pick this thing up?
it's not a bad idea. What? It's made of bone, you said?
It looks to be made of various bones from creatures that are difficult to discern, although quite a few sporting horns or some type of bony appendages that give you the sense that these are probably made from some type of demonic bones themselves.
Ah, perfect.
Demons. So is it like a 6-sided cage, so that like if we pick it up, we pick up the floor along with it, or is it like a 5-sided cage where we could like tip it across? And there's a bottom free.
It's like a 6-sided cage where it has like a base of bonework to it.
Okay.
What happens when I like try to put my like hand on it? Can I like interact with it like as a spirit?
Yeah.
Like, can I like touch the bone?
Yeah, you realize, Aesop, as you touch it, that being in this soul shell, you actually are able to physically interact with this abyssal plane Azagrat.
Huh. Well, that's interesting.
Seems as in this soul shell you have some you have tangibility here instead of being a just floating ethereal spirit that most individuals come here into the hells or the abyss as.
Can anybody put one of these lights out? I can get out of it.
Well, y'all, I got some bad news. Everything I do is related to me making physical objects, so I'm pretty worthless other than the fact I can fly.
There is a shifting that happens at the doorway in front of you all here. Stepping through what looks to be just pure darkness, almost as if passing underneath a waterfall as it shifts and gives way, seems to be a figure similar to the one that you guys may have seen before. It seems like a tiefling, but has some differences. It smiles and curls its lips back. You see various pointed teeth, and as you all watch, it looks to each of you and says, "Back! Back!" And as it says this, all of you feel the sensation of, without controlling your bodies, stepping back.
That's a bummer, is what that is.
Chemo's agency.
Tell him he has a nice jacket.
It laughs. And it steps up to what looks like some type of cage door that wasn't exactly apparent before, but wrapping a barbed tail around opens it effortlessly.
Oh.
It points a finger at the female figure, the elf, and she stares bewildered and scared. "You're next," it says. She begins to cry, "No! No!" But she finds herself stepping forward outside.
Oh. Can we move at all?
You find yourselves unable to move, as if held in place by some unnatural force.
Chemo would be trying to test that boundary the entire time.
Absolutely. Give me a strength athletics check.
Oh,
Actually, no. I take that back.
you said it already. No.
This is what are wisdom skills?
Wisdom.
Well, you got your animal handling, your instinct,
Survival.
menacing.
Give me a base wisdom check.
Base wisdom.
None of that shit covers it.
Boo. 10.
Just straight 10? Okay.
Yeah.
You, putting all of your might into your movement, try to shift and find that you cannot move. Something is holding you in place.
Can.
Maybe if I try just a little bit harder.
Ooh.
Okay.
17?
You find yourself unable to move.
Oh no.
Strong magic's afoot.
This is literally the comic that got posted in our chat earlier.
Can we check if this is, or can I check if this is like a super strong like command?
You can make some type of arcane check, sure.
I would like to arcana it.
I can beat you on that.
Frick. Okay. Natural 20. Thank you, Aesop.
Oh! Well, you see what it really is.
Glosse, you are no stranger to magics that command others.
Mm-hmm.
You get the sense that whatever this gold standard was, obviously has cursed your souls to come to the Vault of Desires. However, more so than that, it seems as though in this place, in this vault, something or someone or some power has complete control over you.
I think. Can we talk? Like, can we talk while we're frozen?
You find yourself able to speak, yes.
If we can just get out of here, and maybe take a form of that thing.
The horned figure, grabs an arm around the female as she cries and pleads, and it laughs as it shifts through the darkness of the strange veil at the door. And then they're gone.
and can we move again?
As they shift back into the blackness, you all feel yourselves moving once again, able to shift.
Well,
Kimo, get this door open. I want to help you get this door open.
I mean, you could turn Chemo into a T-Rex.
I mean, right. That's right. I just turned myself into a dust bunny and hop out, if that's possible.
tee.
You turn yourself into a dust bunny. And cast the magic on yourself, only to find that that spell doesn't seem to affect your soul shell.
Oh no!
Oh, then I guess I'll use my inspiration to recover my spell slot.
Sure.
Fuck. Here, take this.
Okay.
Hey, Glossa, you have a +1.
A +1.
Someone in the Hero's Legacy in the chat gave Rinkaz and Glossa a +1 roll.
Hey,
Oh.
thank you. I
Heroes,
appreciate that.
thank you.
Just so you know.
Thank you. I'm gonna add this on my token so I don't forget. +1 to skill checks, as that is?
Just +1 roll.
+1 to
Roll.
any roll you'd like.
Thanks.
Cool.
Glossa and Rinkaz.
I guess Kilo's first instinct would actually be to try and punch the door open.
Sure, give me like for you, like a standard attack roll, I assume, punching with your fists.
Oh, punch you.
Oh!
Time to hit. Oh, shot.
You smash on the bone-like, at least area that seemed to be a door. You hear the crackle of bones.
Oh.
And see that although the door that was opened by the demonic figure is not completely broken open, you have broken a considerable amount of the bonework that is its makeup.
Can I try next after him to help him?
Sure.
Hell yeah. So, mine isn't gonna be as crazy as his. Oh, well, 22 to hit, and that's just, it's 3 damage.
It's a D4 plus your strength. For punching.
Oh. Well, it's, okay. D4 plus my strength.
Probably close. You got a high strength, don't you?
I do. Sorry.
Nice for mine.
So it's just gonna be +2, so D4 +2. Oh, sick.
You smash into the door with a foot or leg. Fist or foot, I should say.
I'm gonna do it with my high heels and my legs. Just gonna...
You realize as you kick through the bones, your high heels are gone. However, beyond that, you see the crackle of bone fragments ahead, as you have at least made a sizable enough hole for all of you medium-sized soul shells to crawl through.
Soul shell.
All right. Well, I start squeezing through.
Yeah,
Let's do it. Good job. Do 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 do. We're in hell. Do do. Let's see.
Alright.
Go down this door down here. See what's what.
You don't want to do that, you
Oh.
hear the dwarf say from within the cage.
Why's that? How would you know?
Oh, I've been here long enough to know. They just say something and you do it. I don't know how. They find out you've broken out, they'll probably punish you.
Punish us? What? They'll tell us to get back in the cage?
What are they gonna do? Kill us?
Haha! Let's go.
Honey, you still can come with us.
No. I'm not gonna get in trouble like you all.
What are you afraid of? You're already in hell.
That's the point. You don't understand, you're all crazy. You don't know what they're going to do to us here. At least my torture will be less so than yours.
You don't know what they'll do to you if you stay.
No, I don't. But I have a feeling I know what'll happen if I get out of this cage and they find us crawling around out there.
Do you know something? We came here willingly, and we're going to get out. You can come with us and have a fighting chance, or you can stay here and be afraid forever. Be a slave forever.
Stay in the cage and rot for all we care.
Dragonborn says.
Now, just because we're in hell doesn't mean you need to be rude. What's your name, buddy?
Durrigan.
Darrigan. And you? I gesture to the Dragonborn friend.
Bilwick.
Bilwick, Darrigan, you're both welcome to come with us one way or the other. We're going to, no pun intended, raise hell around here.
As you finish saying that, Aesop, the
Oh,
figure
no.
steps back through the door.
Speak of the devil!
Chemo casts Silence Centered on the devil.
Ooh!
Hashtag silence. Yeah.
Alright. It is very quiet in here. The demonic figure looks around at each of you and has this expression of like on its face. Let's see here. Hang on just a second.
Oh god.
Yeah, he just cocks a gun and just
He points back at the cage opening with a finger.
This is the silence area, by the way.
Okay, hang on just a second. Did you put something there?
I put chemo there. I was just going to move it back once you got an idea for it.
Okay, gotcha. He points a finger, seeing what you all do. You watch as the dwarven figure shifts back to the back of the cage.
Aesop fucking grabs him. If we're not
I
bound by his commands, Aesop just fucking tries to grab him by the horns with his strong hand.
Yeah.
Grab him by the horns with your
Quite.
strong hand.
Yeah. And do you, grapple check. I'll try to do a grapple check.
Okay.
I can't inspire you. You can't hear me.
Oh, bummer. I don't want to use my inspiration this soon.
Could I charge and assist?
We are.
I mean, you'll get one next
we
week.
are 30 minutes from the end, so
Yeah.
I use my inspiration.
Sure.
Now that's a Bailey roll if I've ever seen one.
9. That's a 9. Someone else do something, please.
I
You-
want.
You go to grapple him, Aesop, and try to reach for his horns. And you watch as he shrugs and picks you up off of the ground.
Oh no!
In like a baby-like manner.
I try to do something where I kind of look like I was trying to give him a back rub or something.
While he's doing that with Aesop, can I just like crazy lady like grapple him like on like I want to like wrap myself around him like get him gang kind of thing.
Make a grapple check as he begins to try and leave back through this darkened door.
I don't know you.
Can I give good boy cards to other people? Oh.
Oh, that's a saving throw. Fuck.
Yeah, it's a saving throw, unfortunately.
My grapple check, huh?
Can I give good boy cards to other people or no?
What's it say?
1d10 after making a skill or attack roll?
I'll say that's for your character.
I'm gonna use this +1 that Heroes gave me.
There you go.
Nice, nice.
And I
No.
What happened?
As good as Aesop. So my grapple is my strength. Is that what it is?
It's athletics.
Athletic. Oh, good. Then that's a total of plus my 1, 17.
Nice.
Oh, it's opposed by his athletics or acrobatics, his choice.
Let me see here.
Carry the
War.
He's just holding both of us by the face with the palm of his hand. Uh-oh.
This could be close.
You throw yourself and grapple around his chest, Glace, as he begins to walk through like the darkness of this door, or a doorway, like an arch. He begins to pass through with Aesop, and Glace, as he passes through, it's like your hands are repelled away from the door as he passes through.
He must have just beat you. Fuck.
You actually watch as he slips through and now feel it's not like a physical door. It's just like this inky blackness that is at this archway in front of you, and you feel like you can't push past it, like it's stopping you from moving through it.
Oh boy.
He took Aesop. You guys just see Aesop, Glace like screaming in the silence.
We tried, Chemo.
Chemo points outside of the silence.
Oh.
As you guys move to go outside of the silence to have this conversation.
Aesop.
Actually, no, you guys can go ahead and have this conversation.
Can we dispel it? Vidi, can you dispel it? You're a magical boy and you're very strong. We have to get Aesop.
Just dispel the door.
Yes.
Well, I can't detect magic because I don't have my hood, so an arcana check the door and then dispel it.
You can do an arcana check, absolutely. You can try anything, buddy.
Wow. Chemo's gonna try an arcana check, which is a terrible idea, but...
You can do it, Chemo. Plus a D10.
Ooh!
Oh, Chemo's like,
That's a -1 on that.
oh man.
25.
Yeah, man, that's great.
With a... What'd you get in VD?
I got a 6.
In VD, you're not sure what is stopping you guys from entering and exit. It doesn't look like there's a door there, but there's just this darkness that's stopping you. Chemo, there is certainly some type of magic here, but it is almost as if it is specifically restricting you guys in your soul shells. With that type of high check, it's almost as if there is some type of effect in this place, this vault, that seems to have a permanence over your guys' control. Rooms that you can enter and exit, actions you can take. You're not sure if there's a source to this or if it can be stopped, but you feel like if you can get out of this room, there may be more to explore and see.
The flames! The flames! Look at the flames! What?
Oh, you guys still haven't tried the south yet. There's a door at the south.
Glossy, you step up to the door and see the same inky blackness that sits at the archway here.
I want to try messing with the flames, trying to put the flames out.
Okay.
Oh no.
How are you trying to put them out?
I have. Oh frick! I don't have it. Oh no! I was depending on my lyre, but I don't have that anymore.
Oh no!
Ah.
How about that wouldn't work.
Is there dirt that we can start like putting on it?
There is no dirt in this room. It is all made of like a thick black stone. Besides the bones that make up the cage.
Meanwhile, Aesop's in like a demon jacuzzi, right?
No, Aesop!
Just living his best life.
I've got nothing except dispel magic for this.
Do it! Do it!
On the flame or the door?
There is no door.
No, there is.
Can I arcana check the flame to help, like, try to figure out if we do it to the flame, if that would help?
Sure.
Connect it in any way. Oh yes, that's a dirty 20.
Glacé, you get the sense that this fire, this purplish pink, as well as the blue emanating from the back of the room, it's not magical per se, but with that check, you're able to remember that through what you guys have learned, through the paperwork found, through people you've talked to, that there is a layer in Azagrat called Dark Flame, where all flame is instead cold instead of hot. So, as far as you know, these are normal fires. They just have this inverted, reversed essence of being extremely cold instead of warm.
Hey, well, we're in the right spot, Aesop thinks.
The door. Do it to the door, Nidhi.
Okay. I'll Video raise his hands and cast
Kibo dismisses silence, so this works.
Dispel Magic at level 5.
Yes.
You raise your hand. A bright light emits from your palm. You watch the darkness of the doorway continue to stand where it is.
No. Can we start pushing on things and trying to get through them? I want to. Okay, yeah. Let's just. Glacé is upset and she starts pushing on the blackness, just trying to get through it.
Sure. You start pushing on the blackness, trying to just push through, force your way through, putting a elbow, shoulder up against it, and just like pushing with your feet against the dark black stone underneath you against it to try and just push through. There is a resistance to it. It's almost like you don't feel anything actually there, but for some reason it's just stopping you from both seeing and passing through. You continue pushing with all your might as everyone else in the room contemplates what to do next. On the other side, Aesop.
Let us out, let us out.
Rip, this is nice knowing you guys. Tell Hush I said hello.
As you are carried through the inky blackness, you find yourself on the other side in what looks to be an extremely large, open cathedral-like area.
As the guy carries me, I'm like, hey, you wouldn't happen to be the master of ceremonies, would you?
Hang on just a second here.
Oh, I don't like these big Iron Maiden looking fucking golems. Fuck. Holy
Jesus.
shit.
Like some of the devils, though.
The Colossus hears through the door. You're going to be sold to a demon of the highest. I mean, hell isn't that bad.
This is awesome.
This is metal
Aesop,
as fuck.
also, as you are brought into this room, there is the same sound of almost maybe coming from somewhere within this cathedral, perhaps outside of this vault, of the same tortured pangs of screams and shouts and stuff like that. But there is also the prevailing sense of dark music in the background as well. As you are held baby style by the figure, you are slowly brought into this cathedral-like room. The figure standing in the center of all of this is what looks to be maybe tiefling. It's difficult to really make out who. They are dressed in very formal, flamboyant clothing, and they have dark jet black skin. They also, here, let me do this here. Oh, hang on just a second. They
Nice.
also have 2 sets of horns that end in gold tips.
Pretty.
You also see the crying female figure as this being is slowly sort of surrounding them, running a finger across their body, almost like taking in their form, their size. You see sitting in the pews just multitudes of all kinds of various what look like demonic figures, perhaps other tieflings, what look like succubi or incubi, maybe even vampires. You see up at the top this figure adorned in clothing look to the audience and say, "She is sold." The soul goes to number 42. Excellent job and quite a high bid. You see the demonic figure step up from the pews and step up to this female form. She continues crying as it takes her by the hand with a smile. And you see the figure dressed in this goldish yellow run his fingers out as if to wave goodbye. And who is next?
No!
And you see her being dragged off, screaming and crying off into the distance.
I'm about to get sold. Get it sold
Stitches.
because I'm a soul.
I
Yeah.
hate you.
Okay,
You're not
all
funny.
Aesop, you're
Fuck you.
continued to be carried up the steps, watching as a crowd, pews full of demonic figures from below, stares on in what looks to be jubilant excitement as you are brought up and set in this like kind of inset area, like this type of platform in the center of this whole room, and the demonic figure steps away from you. You see the golden dressed figure. This is all taking place as you guys were kind of finding your way through this other room with the cage. It runs a finger across your form and runs it up underneath your beak and kind of taps it with a long fingernail and says, "Kinku. Interesting."
Oh, that's right. Prime cut as well. Aesop is like going through, like he's like having like a flashback of his life, and he's like, I feel like I probably deserve this. One way or another. So I'm gonna live this. I'm gonna fucking live this up. This last bit here.
Did you hear that, everyone? Prime cut. You hear a number of hisses and snickers coming from the audience in the pews. And what is your name?
My name is Aesop, As you can hear, I am a kinku, yet I can speak with my own tongue. For in my blood lies the cure to all kinku kind. Many would sell their souls to gain such knowledge. Many would sell their souls.
There are laughs and hisses coming from the audience.
And as I do that, I unfurl my wings.
Ooh.
The demons in the pews begin to clap and applaud seeing this. They seem very interested in you, Aesop. A kinku with wings? Are you sure you're not an Aarakocra?
Oh, 100%. Do I have my mask on?
You do not.
Okay, well they can see then. I
They
do
do.
something that would indicate I'm a kinku and not an Aarakocra. Like some sort of...
You mock him in his own voice.
Oh, thank you. That's great. Do I seem like a kinku to you?
Yes, well, maybe a little bit less of that. This individual says that he is a kinku given wings and a voice to speak, and he assures my audience that he is not some other avian form. Tell me, what did you do to find yourself here?
Oh fuck. Do I fuck, that's a really loaded question. Aesop says, I slayed 20 of my own kin in order to obtain the cure for my people, which now resides within my blood that pumps through my heart. It's not a lie, technically.
You watch as the figure studies you and says, it seems as though there is a lot of sin weighing on this one's soul. The six-fingered gentleman will be very happy to know this.
Oh, 6 fingers!
Now then,
That does take Aesop aback a little bit.
where shall we start the bidding?
Give a high price.
I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait to let them.
You hear a number of shouted voices and demonic hisses coming from the pews as they all seem to be shouting out numbers. 6, 12 coins, they keep saying. 15 coins, one of them says.
15?
Oh, very good. We'll start at 15 then.
15. You are not just paying for this prime specimen, but every soul that will come knocking upon your door seeking what lies in my brain. Or rather, whatever passes for my brain in the spiritual form, I suppose. You think of it as an investment. I would hear no less than 60 coins at a starting bid like this.
There is a figure in the back that says 25 coins. You hear another 28. 32. You hear another say. The figure in gold turns to you and says, you're racking up quite a bit.
It's just watch and learn.
Tell me, as the bid currently stands at 32 coins, what types of entertainment can you provide? Let me ask it this way. How good are you with dealing with pain?
Oh no.
Admittedly, not the best, but maybe that is entertaining in its own right.
Have you ever been sadistically tortured before?
Oh my god.
Physically or mentally?
Both.
Not
Always
so much.
both.
Not so much on the physical form, I suppose. I am frail and old, and I have this very large hand.
Extra strong.
Probably should have got that checked out while you were
Yeah.
alive.
I can withstand quite a bit of poisons administered, however that might happen to a soul. Now, but what is this six-fingered gentleman you were saying? They sound like quite the high bidder. Wouldn't they want to have something of a input? Are they here at the auction?
He laughs, and you hear the entire pew of characters begin to laugh.
Oh.
Well, I suppose you're here. Bidding is taking place. Should I explain to Aesop here exactly what's happening? You hear hisses of excitement coming from the pews. You see, Aesop, characters, individuals of a certain amount of entertaining worth are brought here to the Vault of Desires.
Right.
This six-fingered gentleman is the Dark Prince, and you see he is plenty busy throughout his days doing the things that he does. So, when interesting individuals such as yourself come through, me and the others here working in the vault bid a certain number of soul coins in return for you, to present you to the Dark Prince himself to use for whatever entertaining whims he desires.
Yes, this Dark Prince then, Lord of this realm, some sort of demon king?
Yes, that's correct.
Damn it. Alright.
You should be privileged in the knowledge to know that you could potentially be accepted into the ranks of the Dark Prince himself. That is the purpose here of the vault.
And I take it you're the, master of ceremonies, as it were?
That's correct. How did you know?
Well, you're a master presiding over a ceremony, are you not?
Oh, I
Is it an
suppose.
official title?
I suppose that makes sense. I've gone by many titles in the past. Master of Ceremonies will work.
Seeing as how I'm driving up such a high price, perhaps you would indulge my curiosity for just a
36 soul coins.
36 sounds like a lot.
Go on, Aesop.
Did you happen to sell a soul, I give the full name, but Zix, recently? Or perhaps not so recently, I don't know how time works here.
What do you know about Zix? He leans in closer to you to ask.
Well, I know that he's an arcane, and most likely a man of science, such as myself. I figure if I'm going to be locked up entertaining demons for all damnation, it would be nice to have a kindred spirit to suffer with, wouldn't it?
He leans back, almost contemplating something. 45 soul coins.
45 is a lot.
He seems to be judging you. Did you come alone?
There were other people in the cage with me.
And did you know any of them? Or are you here by your lonesome?
No, hadn't seen a soul before. No pun intended.
So you have no direct relation to any of them?
No. They don't have any feathers, in fact.
Well then. I suppose it can't be helped.
What does that mean? I think I fucked up, y'all. I think I fucked up. I think I fucked up by lying.
48 soul coins.
That's almost 50.
48 soul coins, the master says. Can I get 50 to top things off?
Oh, you could do 50. I'm a one-of-a-kind specimen. For the Dark Lord's sake.
This one seems to try to be selling himself. Take him at his word. A unique kinku with the ability to speak and wings and the supposed, well, at one time, the supposed cure for his people.
Very low tolerance for pain.
Unfortunately, a low tolerance for pain.
Oh
May
no,
not want to try to sell that one.
extremely resilient to pain. You could torture me forever.
It seems as though he was just playing with all of you. He loves getting tortured.
I'm a jokester too.
60 soul coins. You hear what sounds like a incubus saying at the far end.
That's I was hoping for not an incubus, but
Or perhaps a succubus.
oh, I don't know. All right.
There is...
Look, Aesop is resigned that he's done here. He just wants to see if he can help the party in any way at this point.
There is silence. 60 soul coins. Going once? Twice? Well then, it seems as though you've locked in another one, Chastity, the master says.
Oh shit.
Female, what looks to be succubus, begins to step up towards you.
I pretend I have my cane and I twirl it at the master of ceremonies and say, "See, I know how much I'm worth."
Yes, indeed, you fetched a high price. Now, go forth, enjoy your eternal punishment.
I'll try.
Chastity takes you by the hand, and you watch as the master reaches into his vest and pulls out what looks to be a scroll of some type and hands it over to her. She takes it and stuffs it in between her outfit, in between her boobs, and wraps a tail around your hand and begins to lead you out.
I go with her, I guess. I mean, I remember the party mentioning a chastity,
Yeah.
and I really hope that this is it. And I really hope I didn't screw over the rest of the party by draining all of their resources by driving up my own price.
You guys who are back in the cells, or adjacent to the cells,
Let us in! Give us in!
see the infernal creature step back through.
You monster! Where is it?
Charge him if I can.
Hell yes.
Okay.
Full mouth open to go at his throat.
Get him, Rikas! Get him!
Do I make an attack?
Absolutely.
Oh, awesome. That's probably strength plus proficiency. It's not pretty.
I'm cheering you on the entire time.
18. I'd like to add my +1 from hero to make that a 19.
Sure.
You're also inspired.
You are wrapping. You are trying to take a bite out of him. What are you doing?
Yes, I can take a bite out of him. I get to roll a d6 as a bite attack.
You run your mouth against his shoulder and go to grip down, and find that his skin feels as tough as steel. He sighs and says, "Okay, I usually don't explain this early, but you all have contracts. Can't go where you aren't allowed. You can't hurt me. You should just calm down," he says, and he pats you on the head, Rinkaz.
Give it back! Give it back!
I release my jaws and I just nod and stand there then.
You calm down! Where'd it go? Where's Aesop? Where's that bird? Bring it back right now!
I think it's
demand it.
time for you, the loud one, next, he says, taking you by the hand, Lasse.
You let go of me!
And
I
he-
try to grab Chemo.
Well, I mean, you can grab Chemo. As he moves through the doorway, Chemo, once her hand slips through the darkness, you feel as though yours can't pass through.
I'm fucking fighting him the entire way and yelling and screaming at him. Do you know who I am? Do you know what you're doing? You have no idea. Look at you. You clueless. Clearly minion. You're clearly minion material.
Lasse
You're
is doing that, like, slap against his chest thing as he's just pulling her with him into the room. Glosse, you see all the things I mentioned before explained to Aesop, although now you see it. You also see being escorted down the stairs, what looks to be out of this whole cathedral-like area is Aesop being led by Chastity, who you remember
I know her!
from the
Yeah.
previous encounter.
I shut the fuck up when I see Aesop.
Aesop's just like, like shrugs his shoulders.
Where are you going? What's happening? Oh, this is the auction. Let me go, you beast! I'll walk up there myself.
Chastity stops and looks your way, seeing you say this. Do I know you?
You remember the dance-off, baby? The one that I fucking ravished?
Oh, I do remember that. That's true. And you two are not involved, she says, turning to you.
Involved in what?
Very well. To Graz, my dear, she says, taking you by the hand and leading you out.
Wait, where are you going? Wait, don't you want to be rocked? Wait, by me.
Do you happen to know Flavio by chance?
As she is escorting you out, she says, I do. So what of it?
We're close buds, me and him.
She stops and says, what has Flavio done?
Well, we helped him out of a tight spot, if you will. That's a lie.
Make a deception check.
Or is it? Technically, we let him out of a bottle. It's still a deception check.
That's
probably.
a deception check.
Yeah. Well, that's fine, because I'm okay at deception. Let's say that. That's not bad. That's a 19. Oh, I'll use my +1 that I got from the chat for a total of 20.
Nice.
Thank
She
you, chat.
stops and says, is this part of his plan?
Yes! Ugh! Thank you for putting it together finally. It's nice to meet you, by the way.
Nice to meet you too, she says, shaking your hand. I think I would like to sit and potentially bid on another. She says,
Okay.
taking her seat with you. You hear
Press-
bickering coming from around you, and she hisses at the others and says, I have enough soul coins for any of them.
Yeah, Aesop will be like, back off my master!
House cat Aesop.
Murder.
Murder!
Glosse, you are brought up.
I look this person up and down, and you are.
I'm the master of ceremonies.
Oh, pleasure. I turn to the audience. I am Glace Allure.
Oh, I'll try to like
Oh,
do this to Glace, make it look like I'm scratching my neck, but like, don't.
I
already
see.
fucked that up.
But enough of that. As you were, master of ceremonies.
This
As you
one
were.
seems to want to cut to the chase. You look like an eidolon, I take it?
Yes.
What?
You get a lot of eidolon around here?
No, we don't. Your past, it doesn't matter. How are you with physical and mental pain and torture? Sadistic in nature. Probably
Well,
for the rest of time. At least until he gets bored with you.
Wait, who? Who he? I want that. What? Who he?
The Dark Prince.
Dark Prince.
Yes.
Okay. Well,
Ruler
I'm
of
not...
this realm.
Okay, so.
Consider yourself privileged to be put in front of this auction to be potentially sold to him if he likes you.
Oh, so he. What's his likes, honey? What is he like? Like, what does he look for in a prisoner?
He looks for a high pain tolerance, a
Not me, honey. Look at this. This
sexual
is a
prowess,
Mm.
and most of all, someone to entertain him.
Aesop mimics a incubus voice. She looks chaste as a daisy, that one.
I am a
You hear
virgin.
smirks. You now hear all of them laughing.
I have never touched a man or woman in my life. I have no idea what sex is. My pain, I just can't take it. I stubbed my toe once and thought I was gonna die. Please don't bid on me. Whatever you do, I get down on my knees. Please don't sell me. I'm too pure and innocent to be in this kind of place. Please.
The Master of Ceremonies smiles a big shitting grin and looks to the pews and says, well, there you have it. The perfect one for our Dark Prince to break in.
Wait, no, wait.
30 soul coins. 35. 37. 42.
Scandalous, teen spilling, harlot. Don't. Look at me. I can sing and dance, and I can show my boobs and booty. Look.
Aesop just mimics the voice again. Yeah, I know a slut when I see her.
Oh, the things that I've broken in, honey.
Oh, God,
Broken in.
can we do like one good idea in like 5 sessions? I keep fucking this up so bad. This is just terrible.
Did I hear 43 soul coins?
No. Yeah. No. Wait. What's the high? Wait. Is that good or bad?
Oh, that's quite a lot for most of
it
those
is?
who
Is it-
pass
is it-
through here.
Is it the most? What was he sold for?
He was sold. How much were you sold for, Aesop?
60, which is
60.
what he said they should start the bidding at.
60, and I'm at 43. Honey, I get up and start fucking.
Oh, fuck!
I am not worth less.
Give me
than
a
key.
performance check, Glass.
Oh no! This is. I mean, it's kind of funny that we're gonna bankrupt them by showboating too much.
Okay, well, let's see. That is gonna be. It's 23. I rolled not best, but my performance is pretty good.
23 is great.
Yeah, this is because I have a lot in it.
Aesop, you hear Chastity say,
I tried. I'm sorry.
61 soul coins.
Oh, that's acceptable. Look, a woman who knows.
She leans
A
into you,
star.
Aesop. Better be worth it.
It
Oh.
is.
Thank you. I'll take my leave. I choose her. That's great. Let's go.
I choose her.
That it? Are we wrapping up here?
You hear subtle hisses coming from around you, Aesop.
I mean, they all seem mad. They're probably poor.
61 soul coins going once.
That's right. That's right. Work it, girl. Work your soul coins. Going twice sold, right? Yes. Let's just. I mean, come on. Let's cut to the chase. That's it. That's it, right? We can go.
He leans into your ear, Glossy, and says, "Do you know Zix?"
Uh-oh.
Can I insight check him?
Sure.
I critically failed.
Oh no!
Seems like he's just asking a question. Trying to be slightly secretive by whispering in your ear.
I mean, know him. I've never met him. I mean, I know of him, but I've never met him.
Interesting. And you are a Rhaegar.
No. Who? What? No. I'm a
Right.
Eidolon.
Interesting.
I am a Eidolon, sir. Could a Rhaegar do this? And I just like do a weird dance move, like a shush.
Use the hair.
Yeah, I use my hair, my prehensile hair, and I tickle his chin.
What do you know about Zix? One more time, he says, looking out to the audience.
3 times sold, right? 3 times sold. We're 3 times sold. Well, Glosse isn't saying anything at the point. I don't know anything about Zix.
Oh, very well. Enjoy your time in the Dark Prince.
Where's Zix? Where's Zix? Is he here?
Oh!
Oh, why do you care?
He sounds important. Can he bid for me?
Make a persuasion check.
This is 15.
He looks to the audience, over at you, Aesop and Chastity, and says, "Unfortunately, there seems to be a defect with this one."
A defect? Those are fighting words. What do you mean a defect? Look, she's clearly wanting me, and I'm clearly perfect.
Yes, something, curse something. I can't sell
there's
this
no curse.
one.
I'm pure. Wait, what? You can't. You have to. Look. It was at three times sold. Three times sold.
Aesop mimics Chastity's voice and says 75
Oh,
coins.
honey, 75. You cannot beat 75.
Sorry.
75. Who wouldn't? I mean, you can't pass that up, honey. That is 75. Can I get 100? Can I get 100? Somebody, please.
This is a disaster.
Chastity looks over you with glaring eyes.
Sorry.
Look, I am a sellable object. I clearly can make you money, so there's no defect here. Is it defected if somebody wants to pay 75 soul coins for it?
The master leans in one more time and says, "Did you bring anyone else with you?"
I look to Aesop, and I look back. No. How would I do that? I'm not a demon.
Very well. She drives a high price.
That's right.
75 soul coins sold.
75 sold. That's the magic word, sold. I'll take my leave.
You watch as Chastity steps up,
Oh, hey, girl.
glaring at Aesop the entire time.
Aesop is just like, if he could somehow look whiter than he already is as like a soul shell, that's how he looks now. Just pale as fuck.
So, I want to wrap my arm around her like we're best buddies. Are we sticking around to watch the show?
She stares at you with like daggers in her eyes and steps up to the master and begins to run a finger around his collar and says, "Oh, I think we should talk about both of these. You see, 75 soul coins is quite a lot. And although I made the offer, I think there could be alternative ways to bargain for these two. Perhaps we have a private chat."
What's happening? What are we supposed to do in this situation? Did we win? Are we supposed to win?
The worst possible people win first. We showboated and we drained the coin resources, and we're fucked now. We're fucked, Glosse.
Wait. I mean, she seems pretty loaded. Maybe she's got a little more to give.
Do you know how much 75 soul coins is? I don't, but it sounds like a lot.
I mean, it was more than yours, so I figure it's pretty acceptable.
Yes, you win. Congratulations.
Yes!
Very well. Step into my office, if you would be so kind to watch these two as I assess what's left.
We want them to get it. We want her to buy the others, is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
He begins to step away.
We can talk them down, for sure. We can totally talk the audience out of not getting a lizard folk. Come on, and a monkey? Who wants to take care of that? Who wants
If
to
there's
groom
a bone nearby, I want to prepare it to stab the man when he comes back.
And Vivi and Kimo might be hard to talk down.
Well, you're welcome to prepare something, but you don't know who's going to pass through that door. Sounds and sight are cut off from the next room.
No, I mean, if this guy comes back, he said not to
Gotcha.
attack. So if I can't hurt him, maybe a bone will, because it's part of this plane.
Chastity begins stepping over with you two and says, "Well, congratulations. You have successfully made sure that I don't have enough to afford both of you."
Okay, wait. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4 others that we need. And in this, we need 4 others. So, you know.
What do you mean, 4 others?
There are 4 others in the group that we need to acquire.
Oh.
I admit, we didn't have the plan explained to us in great detail before.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's really unfortunate that the 2 of us went first because, I mean, it's our natural inclination to do this.
Well, you've really put me in a fucking bind right now, I have to admit it.
I'm sure we did.
Oh, can we just, oh no. Can you, I don't know, can you, I mean, your money may, soul coins can't be that hard to get, right?
Oh, sure, just let me put you inside a coin yourself.
No thanks.
That would at least add 2 more to my pockets.
Oh no, it's each one is a soul glace.
Holy shit.
Yes,
Yeah.
you 2 soul coins. Thank you.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to escort you into the office area. Sit and do not move from your seats.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
She begins to escort you guys elsewhere, and she leaves the room.
I would like to tell her that you can do it, girl. You can plant those assets and get the other 4. I tell her what they look like, and I give her a good old wink and a bardic inspiration.
Oh man.
She turns and smiles as she begins to step through the blackness of the doorway and says, "Oh, it almost pains me that I am not able to sell you to Grotst."
Who?
And she steps through.
I think that's the Dark Lord.
Oh, well, that's good.
Lord. Yeah.
That's good. Oh no, the others don't know anything. It's great. I'm shutting up.
The rest of you are standing around wondering what has happened when 2 figures step through the doors.
Oh God.
One in a golden suit, looking somewhat like a ashy, dark-skinned tiefling of some make, perhaps more infernal in nature, and what looks to be pretty clearly, from the lack of a majority of her clothing, to be some type of succubus who stepped through. Sun Kong, Rinkaz, and I think that is it. You guys recognize this as Chastity.
Ah.
I would delay my attack against her.
The 2 just stare at you with your bone in hand.
What?
Were you going to eat that?
No, I was gonna shank the tall, ugly red one with the really badass jacket.
Okay. We need to talk, she says, turning to the master. The master looks and says, "All right. Let's have a conversation, you wily group, you. Let's see how much your souls are really worth." And that's where we'll end this session.
Oh my God.
I had
Fuck.
a laundry list, man. I had a laundry list of shit to give to them.
You know, gang, I'm not gonna lie, it seems like we zigged when we should have zagged. And by we, I mean mostly me. But, you know, we've been through scrapes before. We'll land on our feet.
Our spectral feet.
There's no failures, just new adventures.
There you go.
Welcome to hell, everybody.
Rinka still has a bardic inspiration, just so you know. You still have that, so mark that on you for next week. Just in case you need it, I don't know.
Rinkaz, you
Yeah.
currently do not suffer from an injury as you are not in your typical body.
Awesome.
I appreciate those bits, Heroes Legacy. Thank you so much for interacting with us. I appreciate that a lot. Thank you everybody for joining us and hanging around. We'll see what happens next time as the group has finally made their way to Dark Flame, a layer of the abyss. Thank you everybody who stopped by to watch. A10, there's a person named Feet. Not sure if I want to go to that stream.
Show feet.
Thank you, Heroes Legacy, Remastino, and V&K. I appreciate you guys stopping by. And anybody who pops on later to watch the videos on demand or on our YouTube page. We make sure and post both on Twitch and YouTube. So if you missed any episodes, if you're quarantined and bored out of your mind, we have quite a lot of material for you to watch through, 200 plus hours. But you're always welcome to join in, because I think every episode is fun and entertaining, and I have a lot of fun with everybody. So thank you guys for joining me tonight. We will be back next week for more, to see what exactly happens as you guys have now finally entered the abyss. We'll see you next time. Goodbye, everybody.